Our next presentation will be on gender and bread, embodied gender online. And Leda Cooks, who is the faculty director, is ill, so couldn't be here. But Disha Mullick, who's the research associate associated with this learning community, is here, and I'll have the two students introduce themselves. Okay? All right. Thank you.
I'll start. I'm Lily. I'm a PhD candidate in Department of Communication at UMass, and we've been fortunate to work with Disha and led us in this project. And we're very happy that we've had our first Red House meeting, which, as you will learn, is part of this project. And we'll have more coming soon. So, since part of our project is connecting high-touch and high-tech methodologies, we have both high-touch, or not so high-touch, but more traditional media, and high tech. So we'll pass this around. These are, they can collect some place there. These are just some cards that also give information about our next meetings if you want to join us and take some bread with us, and also magnets. So just pass those. And
I'm Emily Polk. I'm also a PhD candidate in the Department of Communication.
Could you speak up just a little bit?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. My name is Disha. I'm a journalist and an activist from Delhi in India, and I work with a rural newspaper called Khabar Area.
So our presentation today is just to give you a little taste, unintended, of what we are, of what we're working on. So, a recipe for pedagogy on and offline, community activism, and bread. We're mixing online social movements with the physical and sensual experience of making and baking bread in community with others. We are folding in an academic study of gender, identity, digital activism, community, and an international social movement focused on bread. We cook it up with 5 colleges and Pioneer Valley Associates.
And there is a course, also as the previous presentation, a full course that is associated with this project as well as the founding of a local bread house that you learn about.
Well, I guess where I come in, or where I think that the newspaper that I work with comes in, is that we're kind of trying to make a shift into new media, and we're a very localized rural newspaper, what kind of life it can have online, and what kind of social activism is possible. So I think that it was interesting too.
You can read the goals of our project as a whole. This is more as the broader project, but just as an introduction, this is linked. The elements where the online organizing comes especially is in connection to a global bread movement. So there are bread houses around the world, and they are organized by a single individual, but they are by and large not connected through social media or in any other way. So part of our course in the fall and of this project is to explore ways to connect the bread houses, which is that high-touch methodology of bringing people together online and building that community online as well as offline.
So I think we just wanted to give you a little picture of what we're doing with our bread house and our website. So we've been working on creating this.
course would also contribute to this website. One of the major and final project for the course would be a digital story. Each of the students creating digital stories around bread making, bread symbolism, and so on. So, but we had started this site also as a way for community members to link to the Bread House project and then participate. Because one of the biggest goals of this is to bring people together who otherwise may not be together. The idea of bread being that in some shape or form it is made universally, and also that it's an artistic form as well as nourishment in the most literal sense. I don't know if anyone of you wants to say anything about this, or if anyone wants to look at the parts. We're going to have it there as well, of course, across the room, so you can. We have a syllabus as well for the course, or at least the draft syllabus that you can see here. There is readings, events, including the upcoming ones.
On April 22nd.
And
it's actually here at the Farm Center.
yes. And this would be the place where we link with existing movements around bread in the world, but also where students would develop their own digital stories and post them as a way to connect. So it's around this framework of storytelling and looking how it can bridge the online and offline.
So we did meet on March 27th. And we had people come from all the 5 colleges and members of the community as well. It was at the New Hampshire College Farm Center. It was a big success. Okay,
But we are looking to also connect with existing community organizations in the area so that a larger, not simply a larger number of people can come, but I guess the word is diversity, although we're very cautious about it, right? But a larger diversity of people can come. And all of the events are open to children and to families as a whole, because part of the idea of the project, of the Bread House project, is that it looks for ways to subvert what we perceive as the traditional or the authoritative production of knowledge. So what can parents learn from their children by allowing children to be messy with bread, to play with bread? What can we learn from people with whom we might otherwise not be sitting next to each other? And there's different ways in which this is done. For example, one of the activities, I guess, that the founder of the Bread House, Disha, does is that bread is not mixed in separate containers, but and she's also Bulgarian, as am I, so some of those things I remember differently. But this is a tradition that we have where everything is dumped and then just hands go in, and whatever happens, happens. So this is also a different way of making knowledge as you're making something physical as well.
And also to build community with people who might not necessarily come together otherwise. So we hope that this will benefit the community food movements through extending networks, foster individual growth, via reflection, build relationships, develop digital media technology skills by combining art with digital storytelling projects, and bring it together.
Yes, and we're going to be looking forward to see also what knowledges of digital technology students would bring to the course to help facilitate some of those processes of connection. And yes, we have pictures from our meeting the last time that we looked in the background, but we wanted to open, I guess, most of this to questions and to conversation for the remaining, like 5 minutes or 5 minutes? Yes.
Want to take questions now or afterwards?
I think we're going to do it at the end.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we should just, we can move on to the next group.
Oh, so we were just going to show really
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
the last one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Disha's bread on the right.
And by the way, you forgot it, but we took it home. It was great.
But it didn't rise much, so.
One of the funny things, the small bread in the front is the bread that the kids made. We had 4 kids there, and one of the things that Nadezhda has told us in meeting with us over Skype was that somehow the kids' bread is always the sweetest. It's made of the same ingredients, but it's always the sweetest. We have to tell you that we played with this bread. I mean, literally, not like kneading like everything else. The bread was stretched, the bread was thrown, the bread was, so you might be cautious about eating it, but we ate that too. And it turned out just fine. It turned out great. It rose and everything. And so this is an example of, these hands coming together and pushing our own zones in different ways, I guess.
From a communication perspective, we also, everybody got in a circle and shared their own stories from their childhood or their own experiences with cooking and making bread with their families, and it was very moving. And again, one of the goals of this project is also to connect with the larger bread houses all over the world, with the bread movement.
And this is Leda for those of you. Leda is in the middle and she is not feeling well today, so she couldn't be here, but she's the yes, and Disha's friend. Thank you.